We've been talking before the cameras were rolling. Thank you guys for tuning in to Frames and Footsteps. I'm with 3 queens today. None of the boys could make it, so I decided, you know what? It's all good. I got the queens coming to town. So I want to start off by saying, you guys know Erica. Erica's been here, actor, writer, model. She's back. And of course, I got Lioness, new to the pod, new to Frames and Footsteps. She's also a writer and producer, director, filmmaker, all the above. And next to her, we got DK, model, writer as well. This is like the international team right here because I hear DK's accent. Where are you from?
I went to boarding school in England.
England, that's what it was. Yeah, I was like, that sounds a little British. Little British. You get that a lot?
I got all the time, everywhere. It
All right,
works when the cops stop me. That's when I
It
it works on
You
me.
turn it up? Yeah.
Oh, the whole face just changes. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're from England? Oh, I love it. And then they're like, oh, it was very nice to meet you. And then they want to hang out. I'm like, yeah, nice to meet you too. And then I always get away with it.
You're lucky. One of the lucky ones. How's that work for you, Eric?
I've only been pulled over maybe twice in my life. And the first time, the cop just let me go. And the second time, they wrote me a ticket for a tail light. So that's BS. That's Culver City. That was Culver City.
It's a hot city. It's known to be a hot city. Well, Erica's from Sacktown. And it's where you from?
Originally from Detroit.
The D in the building.
So,
Shout out to Jay. And, yeah. and DK, where you from?
well, I am African, obviously, but I grew up in England. But I traveled a lot as well.
Nice. Well, good. Speaking of traveling, let me segue to. So I just got back from Jamaica. So I got you guys some rum cake from the Blue Mountains. You know what I mean? If you guys know about the Blue Mountains, it's very expensive coffee, and it's like way up in the mountains. I want to hike it. I didn't get a chance to hike it this time, but May and July I'm going back, so I want to hike the Blue Mountains. This guy's always like 8 hours. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, because I was staying in Montego Bay, and so I had to drive to the side of the island, which is like 2.5 hours, and then I got there at like I think 11, and the guy's on us. It's gonna take 8 hours. It's better to spend the night and do this whole thing. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna stay at my mom's house. She has a spot in Kingston, which is right there at the foot of the Blue Mountains, so I'll be able to do it. And I also was in Turkey earlier. You know, I was always bringing stuff back from Turkey. So I got some Turkish delights. Yes. So have you guys had this before? You guys have?
I've tasted baklava
Did
before.
it
Like, no, I've had it like at a potluck or something.
Well, feel free to open this and have some and Linus, you could, if you wanted to have some of this rum cake, feel free. I want to shout out this hotel that I stayed. They gave me all kind of, I think this is edible. It's like chocolate or not. So
Beautiful.
Marathi, I want to give a shout out to the Marathi Hotel. If you can even see it on there, they took care of me. Mike was my concierge. He was like, I said I'd shout him out, but I want to shout them out. Here's some napkins for you guys.
And is this tower part of the hotel?
That's the no, it's not part of it. That's the Gatala Tower in Turkey. In Istanbul in particular. It's like a landmark in Istanbul.
That's pretty. Look at the view.
You can eat that if you want to. And then there's some what is this? This I forgot. Oh, this is some Dubai chocolate. This from Turkey though. You know, they left the
What is Dubai chocolate? What makes it Dubai chocolate?
I don't know. Maybe it's thinking,
Or are they just saying that? Because this don't say nothing about Dubai chocolate. It says go frick.
the bag, I think of course yeah, the bag said Dubai. It's like the chocolate's Dubai, but the pistachios are Turkish.
What is this?
Eyes
Give me my
of
glass.
getting old. I can't.
Okay, this is cookies.
Read that at all.
Some what's this?
What?
Zoom in.
I didn't open that. Like I said, they gave me like a gift bag. I'm gonna go live with these glasses. Well, okay. So the reason why we're here is because we're doing the frames part of this podcast, which is acting and filmmaking and independent filmmaking and all that. Lioness here, she has I'm gonna let you tell her that she has a show on Tubi, and I'm interested in getting some of my projects on Tubi. So she's a vet at it. But yeah, tell us about that. Tell us about what you have on Tubi and what you're working on, and we're gonna watch a trailer.
Yeah,
All
absolutely.
that. Go ahead.
So yeah, it's my show Booked and Broke. It's on Tubi. It's 4 episodes, and we shot that over the pandemic. So I'm very proud of that project. I was able to write and produce it. I starred in it, and I did all the original music for that one.
Nice. So you also do music.
Yes, yeah. I started off as a recording artist. Yeah, that was
So
that
you're
was
the
my
singer.
start. Yeah, I was a singer, a songwriter, and a choreographer. I went to a performing arts high school in Detroit,
Mhm.
same school as Aaliyah and
Oh, really?
yeah, Aaliyah and Tierra Marie
Tiara Marie, I
and
remember.
Robert from Day 26.
Okay.
So yeah, I went to that school was like fame. So singing, dancing, the whole nine. So I started off in like a couple girl groups, duos. I was always in a duo. And then I finally went solo and was doing music for a long time. So yeah, then I transitioned into being a filmmaker. So I get to put them all together.
Hey.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you
That's
so much.
incredible.
I think so.
I am.
A lot of people they kind of slight it sometimes, but I
Hating on you?
myself, when you ain't got it, all you can do is hang on it.
What's the show about?
Booked and Broke is about two roommates who are both in the industry, or at least trying to be. So one roommate is doing well. He's like booking work. He has an agent. He's doing well. And the other one, she has to like do odd jobs, Postmates, all of the odd things, doing auditions, doing background, all the things to survive. So
Okay.
it's the dichotomy of them living in the same house and like how they maintain their friendships and their relationships in the midst of all of that.
So what inspired this? Were you the one who was
Based on a
busy?
true story. That thing is based on a true story of my life when I first got to LA and I was like, trying to get in the union and trying to find my way. And, even
Right.
still, I mean, it's a story that rings true
Yeah.
through the years. So yeah, Booked and Broke was definitely something that came from the heart.
Based on a true story then.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's a comedy.
It's a comedy.
But it's still a story. I mean, it's,
Yeah. For
true
me,
stories are the best.
I was a stand-in actress for a couple Apple TV shows, but in the midst of that, still doing Instacart on the weekends and doing Postmates and delivering and trying to maintain,
Grinding.
hustle.
It's
Yeah.
quite
The
relatable.
hustle, the grind. Like, so yeah, the story is definitely true.
It's very relatable as well, because I'm sure a lot of people go through that as well. To see you put it in those, in that context,
Yeah.
it's like comedy is good, but at the same time to have people look at it and say, "Oh, I see that."
Oh yeah, some real moments. There's definitely some real, and it's a very LA story. You know what I mean? Like it's very LA. Like there's a part where the guy, the roommate, EJ, he's a womanizer. So he's dating around. He's single, so he's dating, but he ends up meeting with a woman on an app, and when they meet up, that person's transgender. He didn't know that.
He got
Oh.
catfish.
Well, he didn't get catfished because what we find out in the story is that he was so busy looking at the pictures that he didn't bother to read the profile. And on the profile, it says that she's trans.
Okay, can I ask
Yeah.
Russ, do you guys read the profile?
Yes, because of situations like that. I mean, to be honest with you, I never went out. I never went out on the date when. You swipe it, and you just look real quick, boom, you swipe. And,
So you guys don't read the profile. You swipe
okay,
yes.
In the beginning, no, but then because the picture gets you right away,
Right.
and then all it takes is one mistake.
So you
And he went on a date. I didn't even get that far. I went back to look. One, the person liked me back. Then you wanted, oh shit, let me have something to say. Let me go back and read the profile. Then I said, what the hell?
okay.
Then
and
it's like, then
what
it's
did the
transgender.
profile say?
It just says, transgender match.
And so yeah, so in the show, of course, when I casted that, I casted a transgender person to play that role. They ended up having to cancel at the last minute, so I had to recast it with a cisgender woman.
Mm.
But that was a very delicate, situation that I wanted to touch on because I wanted it to be something where it wasn't anyone's fault. It was EJ's fault for not reading it.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want it to fall on the transgenders, it's not her fault. She did everything she was supposed to do. It was
Right.
her profile.
Mm.
They met up, everything was fine. So, and even in the scene of the show, he just notices and he just leaves and nothing happens. He just is like, okay, that's not my bag. You know what I mean?
But there are some that don't put it on the profile, and they do try to trick you.
I noticed that. I auditioned to be. I had to audition like way back when to audition as a transgender woman. And I don't understand. Maybe it was before they started incorporating, like, just looking for trans actors. But I was always wondering why are they auditioning women for this? And they wanted someone who clearly looked like a man.
Okay.
And but not really passable. And so I'm like, okay, so how am I supposed to come into this audition? So I just did straight back braids. And it was based on a real life story.
As a stud.
I think so. That's all I could do. I came as a stud because I was like, well, how am I supposed to show up? It's based on a real life story of a guy who pretended to be a teenage girl.
Okay.
And go to high school.
Mhm.
And then I think they made it on the cheerleading team.
Thank you.
And then someone discovered, no, this is an adult male, and they got kicked out of school and they wanted to reenact it while they tell the story.
Yeah.
So I didn't make it. I didn't get it.
So
Well, I guess that's a compliment. You didn't look.
I want to know who got it.
You know?
And the production company was from Korea.
So back to so you have 4 episodes on Tubi.
Yes.
What was the process putting those on Tubi, putting those, episodes on Tubi?
It was tedious is the word that comes to mind because it's just a lot of small things that have to be done. Like, the format of.
What'd you shoot on? Let's start with that.
We shot that one on a Lumix, I want to say. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
It's been a few years. We shot that on a Lumix, I believe. So it was just like making sure it was formatted correctly. And then making sure that all the poster was the correct size. You had to send in different formats of the poster. And then you had to make sure your captions were right, make sure captions were there. You have to set up where you want the breaks to happen, where you want the commercials to come in. So you have to watch it and go, well, that's a good place for it to break.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So yeah, just tedious things. It wasn't hard.
So who did all that? Do you have a team
Me.
or you did it?
At that time, right now, I have more of a network. But back then, let me tell you, it was 4 of us on the crew.
Skeleton crew.
It was me, the cinematographer, the boom mic operator, and 1 PA/scripty/ everything.
Yeah.
So we were doing the most with the least. So at that time, my cinematographer, him and I sat up together and edited the whole thing together. So it was just in-house, real in-house stuff.
No, the fact that you saw a project through completion, 4 episodes, it's up. You don't have to worry about it anymore.
No.
Me?
Well, honestly, people that watch it, they're like, well, where's this?
They want to see more.
Yeah, so I started writing Booked and Broke the movie to kind of finish it off. But I'm still deciding if I'm actually.
That's good. You got a fan base, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's.
It's slowly but surely.
Yeah.
Punishment, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
That's something to be quite proud.
I feel really especially like I said, I was telling him, that's my humble beginnings. And if that's my humble beginnings, then it's only up from here, I did a few short skits and things of that nature before I actually put Booked and Broke out, but that was my first big project. So I'm super proud of it. And the actors that are involved, amazing. All of them. Amazing.
How big was the cast?
It's 6 or 7 of us.
Okay.
Yeah. 6 or 7 with a few background, Yeah, but they made my words come off the page in an amazing way. We did a lot of improv. That was really funny that we kept.
So I want to watch the because you have a film on the film circuit right now, a short film.
Yes.
Detroit 911. So I want to watch that trailer, have us all pull out our phones or whatever and watch it. I'm gonna put it on the screen in the corner as well. So if you guys, your phone. Actually, I guess I'll put it on the iPad.
Okay.
I can put it on the iPad.
And just a little background on that. My mom was a 911 operator for the Detroit police. So this one's also based on a true story.
That's good. You write from your life.
I have a lot of stuff to talk about.
The best stories because it's real and it happened. So it's not like you have to make it up. Well, you can still
you
embellish a little bit, but it's still just more foundation.
Yeah. So it's definitely something
Do you want me to move
that I'm proud of. But it memorialized my mother in a way, I guess.
Erica's already seen this.
Okay. Emergency.
Just kill myself before police can come in here and do it.
You to trust me. Somebody's going to be there very soon to help.
Can't tell the cops yet, okay? Because I got special powers, People think I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy.
They're not going to believe me.
You're not listening to me. They gonna come in there.
You've got 5 seconds to open this door, and then we're breaking it down.
Please get away from my door. Please, nobody get the fuck big.
John,
No matter how much I cry,
still here with me?
they put that stop.
D.
That is so impressive. Look at you. Should be so proud.
I am very proud. My mother helped me write that. Because she was visiting. My mom lives in North Carolina now, and she was visiting, and we were just talking, and I was like, "Well, give me a crazy story from when you was, a 911 operator." Because I mean, I've known stories.
True, too.
My mom clocked in at 11:45 at night, so she worked all through the night. And so I was like, tell me what's the craziest thing that's happened. And so she told me this story of a man calling, and he, was suicidal. And of course, she has to keep him on the phone and keep him alive until the police arrive. And he had mental issues, and so she kept him on the phone. But in the midst of that, he told her that he had ESP. And that he could read minds, and he had this special power. He ended up telling her everything she was wearing at that.
Wow.
Go bloody way.
Yeah, and it was so it was accurate too. So in real life, my mom had to be escorted to her car for 30 days after work. Yeah,
Why was that?
because
felt he-
they didn't know how this man saw her.
They didn't believe that.
They didn't believe that he could see her.
Right, just for
Mhm.
safety precautions, she had to be. I mean, she works at the police station, so
Yeah.
yeah, so she had to be escorted.
What does she believe?
Well, being that it was true, and my mom, we, grew up religious, so she's like, I don't know, Jesus, and I don't, anything can happen.
Right,
But, that can't really be explained, which is why I think it makes such a good.
I mean, I think it can be explained because, psychic phenomena have been noted throughout history. And out, you know what I mean? Just because most people don't believe in that phenomena doesn't mean that it's not true.
Exactly.
So for all we know, that man was able to see a mother and see her exactly hence probably why he has depression. Because if he can see in that way and he's seeing other dimensions, he's not going to have a normal life. He's going to be constantly not present because he's seeing other things.
Yeah.
So that would make sense why he was suicidal. So I would believe it.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Absolutely. It's a fascinating story.
What happened to that guy?
So in real life, because my mom was just the 911 operator over the phone, all she heard was that they beat him up. So in the movie,
It's
it
right.
takes an even more bigger turn in the movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But yes, he had a gun. He let them know he had a gun.
Well, that's good and easy. That's
That he,
no, no.
Well, in real
it's-
life,
it's
instead
not-
of shooting
Is
him,
it a shooting? That's
he
yeah.
started shooting
No,
them?
no. I said instead of that's what I said.
it's better.
He had a gun too, so I thought that's what was going to happen.
Well,
I mean, what about disarming?
right?
You don't have to
Well, because
beat
you live
someone.
in it.
You don't have to beat
But-
someone
And
up.
Barbara, you live in a different dimension.
There's a setup about the cops that are entering too. So we meet the cops, and we know that the cop has an issue with working in the neighborhood that he works in.
Yeah, of course. I already know it because the first reaction is to beat him up. I don't think that was the second or third thing they tried to do. I think that was
No,
the first and
yeah.
only.
Right.
That's just probably how they solve all the problems that are unknown to them. Like if it's
Yes.
unknown, this is like unknown territory. The
Some
first thing they're
parent-
going to want to do is be violent because they're frightened. And I think most people escalate things into violence because of fear. And the thing is this man is claiming to have these super abilities. And at the same time, he's holding a gun.
The police for help.
I know, but at the same time, the
happens a
cops are
lot,
looking at
yeah.
it like he's unpredictable. He
Right.
could kill us. So when you are in that situation, you don't think like a regular person. You are thinking fight or flight.
True.
It's either him or me.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many
They shouldn't be in that position, I don't think.
I
Or
agree.
I think Maldani or one of these governors were like, there should be another organization that you call instead of
I
the cops.
agree. I will
a
say
de-escalation.
Yeah.
I had a real life experience too where it was a woman, she was having a breakdown and the police were called and they treated her like she was a criminal. And I do think there should be a separate organization that comes in with maybe some military training, police training, but
along with the
psychology
cops.
training. Yeah, that's able to,
De-escalate.
de-escalate the situation because they have too much
not
to deal with. And that
Yeah, they're trained.
trained to
I don't even
just
think they
be
have, but they don't even have the capacity or a knowledge to be able to deal with that. Most people don't.
For example, I'm in film school. So I was at school, we were filming something last week, and I went past the time that everyone went home. So I was shooting till 9 p.m. The school closes. So I couldn't pull my car up to like load it up with the equipment, even though I did it that morning when I pulled up, unloaded. But I couldn't pull it back up to like load back up. But there was a school, the school sheriffs was riding around, and I stopped him, and I was like, "Is there a way you guys can?" I said, I was exacerbated because I'm like, I gotta take all of this stuff by hand and like walk into the garage. So he's like, "Well, what's wrong, ma'am?" And I was like, I need you to I need to bring my car. And he kept saying, "Ma'am, ma'am, 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 ma'am." And I said, "Excuse me." I said, "Sir, am I making you feel uncomfortable? Am I making you feel a certain kind of way?" He said, "No, why?" I said, "Because the way you're talking to me is making me feel like I am doing something to you."
Right.
And he goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "If I said this to you, sir, 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 sir," I said, "wouldn't you feel a certain kind of way?" And he's like, "Yeah, well, I'm not trying to." And I was like, "See, you don't even know. I came to you for help.
Yeah.
I'm here trying to get help.
Yeah.
And you're talking to me like you pulled me over for a DUI.
Yeah.
They don't even know how to administer help for a citizen." So it's like, we can go talk about it.
I think that when I look at police officers, I think this become quite cynical. They go into this job knowing that it's dangerous and that they could die, and they go with that mindset. So when they look at you, they don't look at you like you are the one who called me to help you. They look at you like you could turn on me because it's happened before. Because they have called people and they wanted to help them, and these people turned on them. So they don't stop to think that not everybody is the same. They look at every scenario as, I'm in danger. These people can't be trusted. They're awful, nasty
It
creatures.
depends on what city and how long you've been in. Because that's PTSD.
No,
I have buddies
it is.
that went to be cops just for the paycheck. They didn't care about it. Some definitely
Like-
power, but some, like I said, went in there for the paycheck. They don't give a shit about nothing else. But over time, that PTSD, because they do see a lot of the worst of the worst, and they just start chalking it up. But I think that comes with years. If you're going in there, 25 years old and already aggressive, that's a
Yeah, it's almost like
that's a character flaw.
it's almost like us against them. There's actually, I wanted to recommend a movie, and it's called Black and Blue. It's with this British actress. Her name is Naomi. You know her? What's her name again? Naomi. She's a brilliant actress. I love. No, but I love her work. Like she's just a real artist. She gives all. She puts all of herself in that character. And in this film, she plays a police officer. And it's weird because I like to play on the words black and blue. So she is blue. She's an officer that's wearing blue. And at the same time, they are fighting against these black gang members. So black against black and blue.
I didn't see that.
So not necessarily like, but at the same time.
It's her neighborhood.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like a pun. Black and blue, I'll beat you up black and blue. But at the same time, it's black against blue. You know what I mean? And it turns out, instead of the gang that they thought they were going after, the actual gang was the police officers themselves. Yeah. They were the leaders. Yeah. So when she found out that the actual gang leaders were the cops themselves, and it was just like her having to be believed, and nobody believed her. They thought they turned it on her. Yeah. They made her look like she was the bad person. And so I said to like, for instance, it's just such a fascinating story when you look at cops from another angle. I always...
Gang angle?
No, I always like to I never like to generalize. Never like to generalize. Play on words, G. I never like to generalize because there's some very good cops out there that really want to do a good thing.
But what angle? I'm still trying to figure out look at.
No, but at the same time, there are other people, because at the same time, you have to understand, cops are also people. There are good people and there are bad people. There are bad people that put on that uniform and become the most dangerous thing out there. They were already bad, and now they've been given power. Those two don't mix. And then you have police officers who really want to help other people. And those officers will never be seen in the light of day because they're drowned out by how many bad ones are out there, if you know what I'm saying. So I think these films just show you that there's, in our world, there's good and there is bad. It's a balance.
I feel like it's also like like the bad apple, you know,
Well,
cliche.
punch.
Yeah, because if you're a good cop, but you're seeing all this bad happen and you're protecting it and you're defending it and you're like standing up to like
You know
cover it
better.
up, then are you a good cop?
No, you know better.
Exactly. And so
Because you're condoning it.
it's a lot of that.
I will throw this in it. I do believe that they operate like a gang. And so think of it this way. If you are a good person and if you stand up, it could be your life on the line. And I've read a lot of books and documentation of people who have tried to be a whistleblower and they've set them up to be killed. So it's not really that easy. I think most people just put their head down and get their pension. They're just trying to make it through until they
you're talking
retire.
I understand.
The Latin girl.
I just know they're about
she did a huge. You could Google this. She did a huge story on. She uncovered gangs in the sheriff's department. They all had a certain tattoo.
Yeah, they do. Every police department has a tattoo.
Well, because the sheriff's is that LAPD.
No, I know, but LAPD, they have their own tattoos because I asked them. I didn't know they were celebrating. And I said, oh, what are you celebrating? And for whatever reason, the guy told me, he said, so-and-so got a tattoo. And I said, and I'm not going to complete why he got the tattoo, but I was like, it just clicked for me. I said, okay, I get it.
You know, have you guys watched this one segment with Dave Chappelle?
Which one?
There was this one where he was talking particularly about this subject and how this is around the time when George Floyd was murdered, right?
Mhm.
And so Dave Chappelle, because he's a master storyteller, decided to weave in how the cops reacted to this one particular officer who apparently went and they were trying to bust someone. He went with a female officer, it's a black officer, and he didn't like the way the female officer was so aggressive. So he tried to intervene and say, listen, you're being very aggressive to this guy, like be gentle. And I think she got very angry because I don't know what level of power she wielded, but she went and reported him. And the man got suspended or he just was sent home, whatever, for no reason because of that. And I think he went into a deep depression. He realized that they were trying to fire him because he was trying to do the right thing. So he went into a psychotic break and decided to go after them and strapped up like with guns and went and killed a few of them their own. And then wrote a manifesto, which we wrote about Dave Chappelle in it. So they had to interview Dave Chappelle. Like, what do you?
Is it Christopher Donner?
I don't know. I don't know his name.
In the military.
No, that's what it was. But he was also, I think he became a police officer.
Christopher Donner.
Yeah, and then he became a police officer. And then I think in the end, they hunted this man down and they killed him like a rabbit.
Yeah,
dog.
You're talking about Christopher.
Yeah. So exactly. I just killed him like a rabid dog. You know what I mean?
They made it a very big deal. Like he was.
It was a vendetta.
This is the girl who did the report on the sheriff, Charisse Castle.
Okay.
You Google that.
I will.
She did a deep dive. She has a whole website on what cases did what. That's why she's on the Breakfast Club.
But back to her point, you were on campus at school. This is a school situation. She's not out on the streets.
Right.
He's not fighting
like,
crime.
leaving.
He's just pretty much just making sure that the students are safe. So you're a student going up to him to ask him a question and he wasn't being helpful.
At the end,
And it seemed as if he would know. And then he said, no, he can't let me in.
Oh,
So he not only did he not help me,
wasted
but he
time.
talked to me real crazy.
Yeah,
He
just
was
to
very
say no.
triggering. I was a rebel in my youth. I've spent a lot of times in run-ins with the cops, even though my mother worked for them. Okay, I even got arrested at my mom's job. I was locked up at my mom's job. So like, I guess I get triggered because I'm like,
Yeah.
why are you talking to me crazy? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like I'm literally just asking for help. I mean, very respectful.
Yeah.
That's what it is. What you just said. It's not that people are not respectful in general. It's just that when somebody goes out of their way to
Yeah.
respect you, they're not just respecting you just as a gift. They're showing you how to return the favor.
Yeah.
To respect, you know what I'm saying? Like when you go out of your way to be respectful in a specific way, you are letting them know how you want to be treated in the exact format. You're not just doing it to be nice. You are doing it as a, hello, this is how I'm going to treat you. I'm waiting for you to return the courtesy.
Exactly.
That's all it is really. So when you get disrespected, especially when you go out of your way to be respectful, it hurts in another way. It hurts deeper
Yeah.
because you actually made the effort to show respect.
Yeah.
As in, you know what I mean?
I think that's how I function on a day to day. And that's why I think I'm very sensitive and empathic, because I do go out of my way to be respectful and to be considerate and to consider other people's feelings and just to have integrity. And that's why my cutoff game is so sharp.
All right. So, back to Detroit. Or even broken. What is it? Broken.
Booked and broke.
Booked and broke. That's a
Booked
tongue
and
twister.
broke, baby.
So where did you find the actors for your? Did you cast out here in LA?
So for Booked and Broke, those were some of my friends. And then at that time, I was actively casting. So I remember finding the girl who plays my best friend. Her name is Jessica Jones. Shout out to Jessica. I found her doing background. Like, she was sitting behind me and I heard her talking. And I was like, that's Rashida. I was like, whoever this person is, that sounds like Rashida.
Yeah.
And I got her information. I told her about it and she was down. So yeah, I just found people that really wanted to do it. For Detroit 911, and I did it in a more standard form, traditional. Yeah. I auditioned people from LA Casting. So both of those actors are from LA Casting. And the background are my friends.
Got you. So I know we were talking for Erica and DK guy here. You said you were working on a new project that you possibly would tell us about that.
I'm writing the feature that I want to shoot. So I have a lot of features that are written already, but the one that I think I'm going to do first it's an interesting story. It's Hotels, and it's a play on words. So it's about 4 sex workers who are navigating that world, and they have like a madam who's very corrupt and crazy. So yeah, so I'm kind of writing that out right now. I'm in the middle of that. Have like this strong outline.
The reason why I wanted to ask that, because would you play a role like that?
What, a madam? Absolutely.
A madam, or even one of the
Someone suggested I should be a madam in real life, and I was like, no. Yeah, I could do it. I could even play Dom.
No, I could see
Erica,
a brothel owner. As an actor, I think that the reason why we love being actors is because we can just be whatever we are challenged to be.
Yes.
Of course, why not?
What about the other one? The reason I'm getting to another question, but what about the other one? What are
what do you mean
the workers? What about the sex workers?
I wouldn't play that.
It's all sex workers.
I know, but we have the options of choosing.
Worker.
You can't just play everything. There's some things you're not right for. But I'm just saying that if we have an option, I know, as an actor, we still have options to choose. Yeah, but it doesn't mean that you can't play it. You just choose not to.
Why?
Do you know what I mean? Because I don't find any pleasure in playing it.
And that's what anyway, I said all that because I wanted to, because you asked a while, well, is there any role you wouldn't play? Remember that was a question you did in the last pod? As an actor, is there any role you wouldn't play, whatever?
Play all that. I like
it's fun to be
sex worker scripts. Sometimes it's just interesting to me. It's always been like, I don't know why I've been so curious. I used to be curious about pimps. Like, I remember my mom used to tell me, don't look them in the eyes like they were vampires.
Where did you see?
And I remember I used to work in one summer after high school, I worked in a dry cleaners, and I saw my first pimp, and he came in with his girlfriend, and they were just like, oh, baby, can you get all my dresses? He's like, no, we can only get one of your dresses out. And so it was like a relationship, and I was like, it's kind of cute. It's not as scary as I thought it was, but they just seem sweet. They just seem like a couple, and he had on his outfit, and she had on her outfit, and we gave them their dress, and they went on their way.
Nice. That's what I was just getting, because Erica posed that question a couple weeks ago about what is there all we wouldn't play. That's why I was just curious to see so you want to play the boss, but not the.
Yeah, because as an actor, you should be able to choose which characters jazz you up. Like, I would be, if I was told I don't have a choice, I got to do it. Yes, I'm sure I'll do an amazing job. But I also want to be able to choose what I want to do and what characters I feel like I want to portray. That to me, because acting to me, I love it so much, but I'm not sure I can be an actor.
What?
Being an actor, it's like being a brain surgeon. Most people think acting is easy. No, it's not. I think acting is one of the most dangerous jobs out there because you are playing with fire. It's called the mind. The mind, in other words, is called the labyrinth. And if you know anything about Greek mythology, there's a character, the Minotaur. The Minotaur is supposedly a metaphor about us being. The labyrinth is our mind. The beast, the Minotaur, is us because we are trapped. We can't get out. It's a maze. We're constantly trying to figure a way out of this mind of ours. Acting is a maze. If you don't know how to get out of this maze, you will be trapped there forever. It becomes you.
I hear what you're saying. I think depending on the style.
No, there are actors out there that are method actors, and I think that's one of the most dangerous. Yeah, because I believe, what's his name again? This actor, Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan, I think he's a really good actor, but I don't like his method or his style. No offense to him. I like you. I love you. But I have a very big issue with getting lost. And if you can't balance out not getting lost, then you're not really a good actor. It's what I feel. And the fact that he did this movie where he played the guy in the Black Panther, where he played this murderous psychopath. Even after the movie wrapped, he had nightmares. He struggled. He had to get therapy. That to me is a wrong way to be an actor. I think acting should be strictly your imagination. You can easily get out of your imagination than if you were to use your own real life setting. Because your real life setting doesn't go away once they say cut, wrapped. It stays with you. And you have like resurrected this dark side of you that is part of you. And it's awake. And now the movie's over. And this beast you have awoken is not over.
I think, Heath Ledger's a bunch. We can name a bunch of actors that are method or whatever. And I think, and I think it depends on, like you said, the technique. Because Jamie Foxx, I think his is like a switch. When they say cut, boom, it's off on. You know what I mean? So
he doesn't turn off.
Oh, that man is
that's a comedian. But I mean, when he's like Ray Charles or something like that.
That guy's a chameleon. He's a whole other beast. You can't touch him. He's a genius.
Yeah.
He's not. He's a whole other level of beast. He does it the right way.
Getting lost. Well, I don't think there's a method to the madness.
There is many methods.
I don't think
many methods. Some people can slide in and slide out.
Your body doesn't know what's true.
It's called muscle memory.
So when you're reliving whatever these like traumatic experiences is, your body doesn't know that you're acting.
Your mind is what's the one.
Yeah,
your mind is
body
the decider.
And your mind. They don't know the difference.
I think. Well, I think. That's probably you have to speak for yourself because you don't know like what's going on.
No, that's why I say everybody is different. That's why I say that if you use a method, because that's why they say choose your poison. We all have whatever we need to do to get where we need to get.
You ain't poison.
Exactly. Yeah. We're all different. To each their own. Different strokes, different folks. But if you are doing this craft, and it's a craft, we have to master this craft in a point. We're like ballet dancers. It's very fine-tuned. You can easily cross over to the other side, which I call madness. You don't want to go there. That's why a lot of actors are drug addicts, because they acted so recklessly in this craft because these people are very in demand. When you are in demand, you are going from movie set to movie set to movie set. You are jumping from one character to another. If you don't figure out a way to come back to base me, you are going to have problems. Like she said, muscle memory. No, because it's
these actors on vacation after every movie.
May I finish my thought? May I finish? There's an actor, very famous actor. He's the guy that did that Shinobi, whatever. Chernobyl? What's that guy? Yeah. What is the British actor's name? His name is, he's a brilliant actor. He was in the 28 Days Later, I believe.
Yeah, she's talking about
Cillian Murphy. I listened to him on a podcast talking about this very exact thing. He said, and this man is a brilliant genius. He said that when he is done with a film, he doesn't feel right. He's out of sorts. And even though he said he pretends that everything is fine, because he's telling himself, I'm fine. His wife says, no, you're not fine. You need to take a vacation. You need to go and sort yourself out, figure it out, and come back as you. And he said, you know what? You're right. I think I do need to. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. That's what I said. They take vacation, but that's because they dug a hole.
What about the ones that don't have the money
to go on vacation?
Well, no. Well, if you're an actor on that level, you have the money to. Like if you're doing a day player on Reno 911 or something.
Vacation or not? Yeah.
So if you're a day player or one of them, like give me an example like who you think doesn't have money.
Well, what I'm thinking of is like the actors that are not.
They need to be working. They need to see.
Where it depends on your technique.
Because
like if your method and you get into that labyrinth and you're stuck, that's a problem. Like what she's talking about, that's a problem. But if you're like I said, Jamie Foxx is, because I've heard him when he talked about LL Cool J and that whole fight on, and he said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Cut, I'm done." You know what I mean? He's flipping the switch. He just goes in, mimics, copies, whatever word you want to use, and comes back. Where LL was trying to be method.
Some people have the ability. I have the ability
Yeah.
to switch on and off. Like I just did a student film the other day where every time they yell cut,
Yeah.
I was out of it. You know what I mean? And that's a whole nother ability. It's an agility.
Right.
It's a skill.
I think
You're an empath.
That's
It's
a
easy for
skill.
you to do.
at this level, I think we're all kind of with the switch. My goal is to get like Daniel Day-Lewis or
He's a method actor as well.
exactly. And my goal is
Well,
to get that deep, just to
right.
see Cillian Murphy. Who's another one?
Well, you always have to consider their mental state before the movie too. You know what I mean? Like you have to consider the other things.
I love
understand
you said that.
speculating on things we don't even know. what's
No,
going on in life, that's why. That's
I'm glad she said that because I watched a documentary just about that.
Mhm.
They said if you look at the greatest actors
Mhm.
that have ever lived, look at their lives. Some of them had the worst tragic lives. Hence why they were able to draw it into. But like I said, some people choose to use their life and use imagination to bounce out of it. Like her, I can easily go between characters because my thinking is, it's not me.
But I also haven't been on Batman for 6 months
My point.
and had to be the villain for 6 months and I was locked away in a room for 6 months. You know what I mean?
Right.
I've never had those
And I want to know,
experiences.
it's Hollywood, so I don't know how much of that is marketing as well. That's why they show with social media. They show John Wick at the gun range and all that stuff. All that stuff is marketing.
I will say this.
In my-
There is an actor that I know. I met her personally and she's working now. And I watched her do an interview on a part that she had to do. It was a very sad, heartbreaking part. And she said she didn't know what to do when she was sitting in her trailer before she went on to film it. And she said something very interesting to me, which kind of goes to some of the things we were talking about with your Detroit 911. She said that she looked in the mirror and she just prayed for the spirit of the women that have been in that situation to come to her. And I was like, wow, I never thought about it like that. That's deep. So now you're channeling, and this is if you believe in that kind of thing, you're channeling different spirits. Well, that doesn't mean that they're just going to go away if that's your method.
Yeah.
So I do think that, hearing her do it, maybe other people do it. Maybe they don't, but I can see that being a possibility.
Like for me, like I'm a mom. I have a
Mhm.
4-year-old. So I know if I need to cry in something, if I need to go
You're
there,
using your child.
I have to use that.
Mhm.
Now, I've never had to do it yet.
Right.
So I don't know when they yell cut, how fast that could turn off. If I'm in a place where I've, God forbid, have to think something horrible
Right.
and that created all this, I don't know how fast I can come out of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I know I will. I know I can because thankfully my daughter's fine. But what I meant by what I was saying is you have to consider what they we don't know their mental capacities even outside of acting. Most of us deal with mental illness on some kind of capacity. Yeah. So you factor that in and then you give them this art and this creativity and this stuff to get deep into. And who knows what happened.
And also I noticed that there's a lot of actors that get into the acting world because they don't like who they are.
Oh, yeah.
And they want to become someone else. So it's very easy for them to have a psychotic break where they pretend to be this being. Like you said, I decided a long time ago, I don't think I have, and I'm a storyteller first and foremost. This is what I enjoy more than anything in the world. It just takes so much joy in just storytelling verbally. And I realized acting came with storytelling. So I was going to automatically be an actor. I took an acting class and that's when I made the decision I can't be an actor. Not because I wasn't good or I was so bloody good. It scared the bloody hell out of me. And I'm like, I can't do this. This is frightening. If it's done right, it's freaking frightening. I was given the task of becoming an Irish woman who had a daughter. And she was supposed to pick up this little girl at a swimming session because she was running late to go pick up her daughter. Her daughter drowns and dies before she gets there. So I'm supposed to play this woman. And that is not even the worst case. She is telling this story at a bar. And when she's telling the story, it is not just that her daughter died. Her daughter calls her from the afterlife, asking her, how come she wasn't coming to pick her up. She doesn't know she died. She's like, I'm at grandma's house and no one's here to pick me up. Where are you, mommy? And she's freaking out. She's like, how is my child calling me on the phone? You know, and she's freaking out, Mom, coming. She's like throwing on clothes to get to this dead child, knowing full well that this kid is dead. And then that's not even the worst part. The daughter is telling her, hurry up. There's a pedophile in the afterlife chasing after her. Now the woman is flipping out. My baby needs me. And the husband is looking at her like, whoa, you've lost your marbles. I'm supposed to play this character. I'm thinking, come again?
By the time her daughter was dead and like she went through all of this stuff the whole day.
No,
find out later
but I did it. I prepared for it. But then I realized as I was doing it, I lost complete control of myself. That's when I realized I could no longer do this art. I realized at that point in time, the story took over me. I was no longer telling the story. I had become the story. I don't have children. I didn't use a child to tell me. It's the words. In the ambulance, the guy tells her, I think it's time for you to say goodbye. That is what made me cry because the kid is dying and they're heading to the hospital. And he says, when we get there, even right now I want to cry, is that when we get there, you will not have this opportunity. They will take her away and you won't see her till she's dead. So I think it's time. And she looks at the kid and the kid is turning blue and I couldn't speak. My throat started to swell. All I could do was I'm trying to speak, but I can't speak. My mouth is moving, but nothing is coming out and I was crying. Insanely. I'm not talking a little cry. I'm talking, I have lost my bloody mind type of cry. Because that's what grief is. It's not like, oh, I lost my keys. Where are they? No, this is somebody you love that is dying and you will never see them again. And it's not just someone. It's your child. And I lost my bloody mind. And then when I was done, I looked at the teacher. I said, see. And everybody was like, how did you do that? Because I don't have a child. I had empathy.
Right. Yeah.
It broke my heart that this woman had to live this reality. And I couldn't take
I've been crying for 2 days over Megan Thee Stallion's breakup. Okay. This is what I am empathic to.
No, but no,
I'm wrecked.
It doesn't take much for an empath to just fall into pieces.
I get it.
You know what I mean? Like Erica knew, like I told you about my rat dying. And I called, when I talked to Eric, I was crying because he was a rat, but I loved him. And just watching him die. No, it's, I they said it actually is quite good.
But yeah, I liked it.
Erica wants me to go watch
Jafar
it.
channeled Michael.
Yes, he was so
He did a good.
He channeled him.
Paris was on, his daughter was online kind of talking shit about it.
Yeah, she didn't want to be a part of it.
Wasn't
Because she
Janet
didn't
either.
like the way that they
Janet.
cut everything out.
Yeah.
She was like, y'all just sugarcoating this shit and making it like it's
Yeah.
all rainbows and sunshine.
I
This
felt
shit
like
ain't.
that. I felt like that too.
So I get
Yeah, it
that.
didn't feel like that Biggie movie.
But I enjoyed it.
The Biggie. I
Did
didn't
Bobby
see the
Kennedy,
Biggie.
executive producer on that? She said it was
Did that go to the theater?
theater. No, I was in theaters years ago. Yeah.
But it wasn't the one with Notori as Little Kim, not that
I
one.
don't know
It
if
was
that
that
one-
one.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, Kim hates.
It
It
was
was-
but with the Michael movie, I was upset that they cut it off like in the 90s, like before. He had like 30 more years
I think,
of life.
but
Well,
don't you think they were setting it up to have a part two?
yeah, for sure.
I think they were
For sure.
too.
Yeah, they definitely.
But they're still gonna lie and finagle and make it all.
Yeah.
They're not
You're
gonna
right.
tell the truth. It's the Jackson side of the story.
Yeah.
They're not gonna tell the truth.
So how with your projects, does social media play a part in your?
It should. Yeah, you know what? I got a big surge on my TikTok because somebody decided to be a hater. They commented because I do promote it on Tubi. I mean on TikTok. I always talk about it. And somebody said, "You got a show on Tubi? Like how ghetto?" Or like something. It was something to that effect.
Haters are out there.
So I followed them and made a video about that. And I was like, "Can you believe somebody is like?" And that blew up. That video like got like 20,000 like views and likes and people are like, "Oh, they're a hater. What's the show? I'll watch it." So I think I got a big surge after that, which was really great.
That's funny.
Yeah, so I took, take lemons and make lemonade.
Yeah.
But I want to do more promotion and more. I find it hard sometimes to keep talking about myself if it feels gratuitous at times. I
That's
guess.
shameless promo.
No, and I know that's like what you have to do
Yeah.
now. I get it.
At this level.
But I
yeah.
struggle. I really struggle.
You shouldn't, because there's a big difference with people who are narcissistic and just want to just be loved because they look amazing or whatever. But this is different. You are promoting. It's called marketing.
Right.
So if you are marketing, and anybody who has a brain can see that you are trying to promote something, and if you had somebody else to help you do it another way, then hello. But if you only have you, TikTok is another way to go about it, then why not?
Yeah. I mean, I should do more. I'm going to do more. And I should be doing more stuff on YouTube, you know, but I'm working on it. And that's the thing. I think that's the thing, that the message that I want to convey is that no matter what comes up against you, no matter what your mind tells you can or can't do, you can do it no matter what. Because if it's been done before, that person was no smarter or better than you. And so everything that's been done can be done again. And any idea that you thought about, the fact that you thought about it makes it real. So if you think it, you can do it. And that's all that it is to it. Like, seriously, that's really what it is. It's like my grandmother she worked for Ford or Chrysler. Can't think of which one. Chrysler. She was a Chrysler worker. She retired at 40 and opened up her own business. My grandmother opened. My mom was born in the 60s, so it had to be around that time or even the 50s. My grandmother opened up her own business. She opened up a wig shop, and she was wigging like the Supremes before they were called the Supremes. She was wigging all the Motown people and all of that stuff. And then she got bigger, and then she opened up a flower shop, and that was her passion and her love. And this was all when women couldn't do nothing without being married, and couldn't open up a bank account without a man, and then her being a Black woman. You know, it was just all of these things, and she did it. She did it. So who am I to say that I can't do anything? I mean, that's my grandma. You know what I mean?
Imagine.
Yeah. So I think about all of those things, and I think about all the people before us, our ancestors, everybody, you know, and I believe. So I keep going.
Yeah, I think hence why the word role model comes into play.
This is, I think, Erica's question. If the budget was no option, I'll start with you.
That's my question.
If budget was no option, what kind of project would you create?
I would get the rights to Mattel's Barbie, and I would do the Black Barbie story.
Okay.
How she's like, I don't know, I give her a backstory because we don't ever hear about the Black Barbie dolls. And that was a big franchise. And I think adding our flavor to it would make it even bigger.
I didn't see the movie Barbie.
That's one of my favorite movies.
Is it?
It was super cute.
It was really funny. It's a good comedy.
It's a good story.
Okay. I saw Issa Rae. She was a Barbie. Yeah. What about you?
That's a really good question. And I've never said this out loud, so I'm going to say it for the first time. If I had no budget restraints and I had this at my fingertips, I would get the rights to The Coldest Winter Ever by Sister Souljah, and I would make that movie. I would make that as a feature. Coldest Winter Ever. It's my favorite book.
I've never read it. I
Oh
know.
my
I'm
God.
very familiar with her, and I remember that.
Winter Santiago is the main character, and I would do that.
All right. Look.
Well, for me, it would be The Lion King, the actual true story. It's actually based on a true story. Most people don't know that.
Yeah.
And I just like how Disney goes around the globe and takes people's folklores and makes billions out of it and gives you like pocket change. But this is a very powerful African story, and it's about the Lion Prince. His name is the Lion King. And if he's in Mandingo, his name is Sunjata Kaita, meaning Sunjata, Jato, means lion, the Lion Prince. And the story is nowhere near the little Disney version. Oh, it's a lot darker than that.
Go ahead. Parents are.
Well, you should know how to speak some patois. Come now.
You can't? Yeah.
Come on.
I don't believe you.
You've got to. Come on, Ross.
Go on.
Come on, give us some more. Don't we just give it a bit of...
That's it. Empty the patois tank. I mean, I got a Jamaican passport, so I'm trying to take that.
You've got to do it, Ross. It's just so good when
you
you
do
do
it.
it.
I can do the British accent.
You've got to do it. Come on.
London.
Whoever audition is
Coventry, not even London. Coventry, outside London.
they tried to do a Nigerian. Yeah, you should do some Jamaican auditions. Great
You
for
would. I almost literally booked a job once because of
How's the cake? Is it good?
Wait, I didn't
magnificent.
even get any.
It's good. Try that.
No. No, I've had, dude, I have so much. It's ridiculous.
That's why you're giving this to us.
This is my boys. Like, yo, take this stuff.
It's nice and moist.
Yeah. Yeah. This is like,
I
they're
can
known for
smell.
the coffee.
I can smell the rum.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
as soon as you open
When you say rum, it's got alcohol in it.
Yeah,
It's made with alcohol.
Yeah, it has a little bit of alcohol.
I can't have it.
But it doesn't, the alcohol is burned out when they cook it, but I can smell
Yeah, you smell it.
I can still smell it. It won't have any, like, the alcohol is burned out, but the ingredients for rum, the brown stuff is still in there.
Okay, as long as not.
But you like the baklava.
Yeah, it's really good.
Nice.
Very crunchy.
Okay. Can I see the cover?
Absolutely.
Thanks. I just want to see which one did you have? They're big on the pistachios out there. So pistachios and cherries, Turkey. They're really big on it.
Yeah, I like going to Turkey. It's a really good, beautiful country.
I've only been to Istanbul.
Too.
Yeah, that's it. But I want all this, the ancient, history is in the east, like all the like the ruins and all that. That's really
like
where I wanna
Egypt?
go. I've been to Egypt, but they do have ruins and stuff out there too, little pyramids. But again, it's all on the east side of the country, and I've been trying to make my way there. I just never had the time.
This needs a cream cheese frosting.
I found the trailer for Booked and Broke if you guys want to check.
Oh, yeah, I would love it.
But can we get you to be a little bit more?
Anyway, okay.
Bit more urban. Urban. Yeah, we're black. I really thought you'd get the callback on this one, but we never know what these crazy casting directors are thinking, Yeah, well, I need something to come through for me. Work has been coming slow in case you haven't noticed. Come on, Big Bird. I need work. What is it?
For me like that, Rashida. Folks.
Woke up in the morning, said I gotta get money. Yeah, I gotta get paid. So I'm learning all day.
What's it says? Think I should join the union?
Baby, yes.
How many times you watch?
No, for real. In order to be a working actor, you gotta be the union. And you need the real Trina. Trina, this is Tracy. She was just leaving.
That's the third one you didn't have in this house this week. You gross. You know that?
Takes life.
Emma, you didn't tell me you had such a pretty little girlfriend. Not his girlfriend. We're just roommates.
Damn, girl. You got like 12 drops.
Bro,
Really good. This is on Tubi? I'm gonna binge on it.
Damn.
Oh my goodness, you should be so proud. Just really good. Should be picked up. I was really drawn.
yeah.
I've watched so much stuff on television and I get bored within 5 seconds.
You know what? There's this weird thing of like people that know me. I don't think they want to like tell me that they. So
Like me.
everybody just everyone's quiet.
Are they watching?
Well, that's a great question.
Do you have numbers that show
I
if
can't
it's
track
watching?
who watched it.
Like, you can see there's numbers.
Yeah.
Well, people are sneaking and they're looking, they're lurking.
Well, yeah, because no matter what, they'll watch.
Yeah,
They
they're
don't
gonna watch.
comment, they don't support, they watch.
Well, you know what? You should be proud.
It's just weird.
You know why? It's not weird. It's a good thing. It's a sign.
The silence.
No, it's a sign.
The sign.
It's a sign. That means that you did so well. They couldn't handle it.
She's doing.
No, because you have to understand, what you wrote, it's not just, this is really, really good.
Thank you.
And it's actually quite funny, and you have really good
Yeah, it's
character
funny.
that act really well. Like, I was laughing, and I thought it was hilarious. And to know that you did this all by yourself, can you imagine if somebody gave you actual money?
Sure can.
Dominate. You know what I mean? You did all this by yourself. Can you imagine if you actually had help?
Right.
They give you the best of everything. Cinematographer,
Right.
everything, and it just said direct. You'd be dominant.
Watch the monitor.
You would get you one Oscar or something. No, I think you are very talented. If they're not telling you,
wanna
just
take it
remember,
home with you because
they are frightened
I have
by you.
more than enough.
You did this with nothing. You know what I'm saying? That is
perfect.
frightening because they couldn't even do it in their mind.
Right.
To actually physical imagine it and then bring it out of your mind. It's like being godly. Because only gods can create something like that. Because we say that we're in a way like gods because we think it and we make it happen. It's in the head and it's in reality.
That's the biggest, like, no, I think I'm so proud of that because I remember the day that I was working, I was a stand-in. And I leaned over to my friend, the one who plays the agent. He plays the white man that plays the agent. And I said, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this web series. And I wrote it. And I was like, it's gonna be called Booked and Broke. And I still have that piece of paper where I just wrote the word out.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna do this. This is what's gonna happen. And he was like, yeah, do it. And looking back on that, which was in like 2019, and then just like, because I was standing on a show called Mythic Quest. Mythic Quest is the same people as Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia is in its 22nd season. They started with
still
$2 and a camera. That's exactly why I started writing Booked and Broke. When he stood up and told us that story, he's like, we started with $200 and a camera.
Charlie,
It's Rob.
Oh, Rob. Okay.
And so Rob was my boss, and Rob gave me speaking roles on Mythic Quest, and he really gave me the confidence to like do something. And so, yeah, being on that set and $200 on a camera, and they on their 23rd season, I said, I want to write something now.
They had another show. I talked to Charlie about it because I stood in for Sterling.
Wow,
So
you look alike.
Yeah, I can see that.
This one in particular, Charlie Day was on. It's called Hotel Artemis. We talked the whole time. He had another show that I worked on, and I brought it up. What happened to Boldly Going Nowhere, which was a Star Trek not mockumentary, it was like a kind of Star Trek. Yeah, just like Sunny in Philadelphia, but they're in space. This was before Orville or whatever that one that Fox Studios though. I said, yo, what about? Because I was talking to Charlie, I said, yo, what happened to Orville? He said, yeah, I think our show was ahead of its time. It's still on the shelf at Fox or whatever. But remember that guy in The Walking Dead who had his girl? He had the black girl.
Yeah.
That black dude.
Yeah.
He died earlier. I think his girl died later. But him, I stood in for him. So you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
I forgot his name. I never knew his name. And then yeah, but so I stood in for him. He was the Spock character on Boldly Going Nowhere.
Okay.
But that was another great show that Spock's, they had all the money, but they just shelved it. They just bought it or whatever they did and just put it on the show. But then they kept filming.
Mythic Quest was was Rob's show. And Charlie was an executive producer on it, but he wasn't in it. And that was the Apple TV show that they had for 4 seasons.
Well, that with Ryan
No, they're best friends, but he had nothing to do with it. It was just like, it was like video game. We were all video game
okay. I'm thinking of the soccer.
working like a corporate video game headquarters.
Can I get your opinion on something? I had this question asked. Is it worse to be booked on a pilot, shoot the pilot, and the pilot doesn't get picked up? Or is it worse to get booked on a project and you shoot the whole season and then the season doesn't renew for a second season?
The second one, because you can at least, if it comes out, you can at least get the royalties and the residuals or whatever.
Which one's worse?
The second one is way worse. I think
the second one is the worst. You say the pilot.
No one sees.
Well, the second one is the one nobody sees.
No, the second one, no. You see the pilot.
No, the worst is the pilot because you don't even get the money, like you don't get anything.
You get paid for the pilot, but you don't get nobody sees you. But the season, you did a whole season, you get your little 20, 30, whatever G's, and then people see it. You're saying that, oh, you get canceled?
I'm not decided yet, but I do know a pilot and like the first season of anything, it's not that much money. So I was thinking, okay, you get credits at least, but the problem is that you did a whole season and then now I feel like when you do something and people see you and then they don't see you anymore, I feel like it's harder for you sometimes.
Well, you can take that and add it to your reel though.
Right, you can.
There's a pilot that never did see, you don't even have it for your reel.
That's true.
And on top of that, it shows that you booked something and you were series regular or whatever.
Yeah. And
it's still on IMDb.
Right, but play devil's advocate. Oh, well, you were on a show and it didn't even make it to a next season. You were so horrible.
No.
No, but I'm saying you're out there auditioning again for another job because we're all out there auditioning for another job. And I'm just curious how people look at it because there is a stigma when your show
industry.
right, but there is a stigma more if it just gets canceled after one season than it just didn't get picked up, because a lot of stuff doesn't get picked up. So one is actually a little bit more ordinary. Like, yeah, we assume that to happen, but they like kind of sometimes bank on the actors. Okay, maybe the actors weren't good enough. That's why it didn't make it. Maybe the writing was.
It's going to be better to do the whole season is because you have a fan base. You have people that you have some people that hate on it, but you have some people that, oh, I love that show. You in that show? I love that show. And you have a fan base. Then you go to Comic-Con. There's some people that probably did a season of some dumb show, and they're probably still at Comic-Con to this day. You know what I mean? 20 years ago, they just did one season of some show. It's like a one-hit wonder type thing. Not to say that they're not acting and other stuff.
It's just interesting. I was just curious.
Well, yeah, how important is acting classes? You guys were talking about that earlier about what gets you to cry. You think about your daughter. I was in your Inspired acting class. He would say, play a song. You know what I mean? Play music or whatever. Music was a big one of his big components that a song can make you cry or whatever, and you could just get there. But how important is acting classes?
Well, for me, I can cry at a drop of a hat, and I can do different variations. I can do a little bit, I can do crazy bit, I can do just
Did you do it in that class, or did you just...
No, it's just
like, what have you taken away from an acting class?
You know, to be quite honest, it's been a very long time since I've been in an acting class. I think that when you're at a certain level, you need to be doing the work. Meaning you need to get on camera, you need to write something, you need to be acting in a project, whether it's with your friends or, you know, practicing yourself, because acting class is great, but I feel like it has nothing to do with what we do when we get hired for a job a lot. There's a technique that you have to learn for film. A lot of my classes were theater.
Yeah.
So you can't really do that on film, on camera, because it's too big.
Yeah.
I'm always told like to bring it down. You don't have to do all those facial expressions, things like that. And in real life, I'm big. Like if I'm angry or upset, I make a lot of facial expressions. If I don't like something, yeah, I'm really going to turn my face up, but you can't do that. So it's finding a balance of what is acceptable for camera, and the only way you can do that is if you put yourself on camera and look at it and study it. And I spend a lot of time right now. My acting class is studying people's auditions, studying people on camera, like in movies, like studying the actors, like learning that they kind of do play the same role. And to your point, I feel like your career has to be pretty big before you even earn the right to go deep, because I don't think they even allow you to do that. There's no time. They just want people to do what we say. And when you get to a certain level in your career, then you're allowed to go deep.
I just go deep regardless. It's just my range. It's like Whitney Houston's, for example. I mean, bloody hell, this woman's got range. You know what I mean? Like she can go whistly or like she just, and not only, and she can hold it forever, like a note, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to me, acting is no different. We do have those ranges as well. You know what I mean? And I believe you have it. You have it. You know what I mean? You can go many levels. And I feel like people like us, we look at acting in a very, like, what's the word I'm trying to find? We are very meticulous. There's one word I learned in the acting world, and it's my favorite word. It's called minutia. Acting is a game of minutia. Meaning, I'm going to take a very real moment in time. There's so many moments in time that move so fast that we can't capture it. So if I take a very small moment in time and I zoom it for you to see how we really are when we don't know we are.
Yeah, so what about you? Have you taken anything away from...
Yeah, I would say that the most important thing that stuck with me from acting class is breaking down the character and like giving it a backstory. Because I've always been a little cocky. I'm an actress. I know how to do this. I don't have to, you know what I mean? Like, I'll just read it. I'll know how to do it. But the acting class taught me how to go deeper into this character and how to like figure the character out more so. Yeah. Who is this person? Why are they motivated to be this way? So I think that was a good thing.
That's a good takeaway. Me, I found, I guess maybe similar to you, I found not in doing, but watching. Like, I think you were the one that said you study movies. You study out of...
No,
oh, yeah. So just in watching other my fellow students just going up on stage and doing this and the subtleties or whatever they did, what the teacher saw and would break down or whatever, that's where me doing it, I wasn't getting it. You know what I mean? I have to watch. And when I watch, then I can mimic. You know what I mean? So that's why eventually I do want to get to that deeper Daniel Day-Lewis type level. You know what I mean? But off the top, I'm more like it.
But Daniel Day-Lewis is a method actor. He is not really, I feel like he's not really a bona fide actor in that way, because if you're using something that already affects you, you know what I mean? It's going to be easy to channel it.
It doesn't matter. But I believe you can do that if you do what she was just talking about. What did you have for breakfast? Are you married? How do you feel about these people you're talking about? Like, do you like them? What's your relationship? Do you want them to get out of your face? Like, just ask those questions. Then you're doing what she's doing. You're just responding to it. You don't even know. It might just click. Because sometimes you get it while you're doing the scene. Sometimes I don't know what's going on, and then I'm like, oh, I see what's going on.
If you see me read through it like 10 times, that's why I read through it.
Yeah, you got to read through it.
I read through it like so many times, because you find the minutia. You know what I mean? You find the little nuggets in there.
And also, like, human nature, we may be as different as night and day. Every individual is just so unique, but we share commonality. Like, there's always going to be something that another human is going to watch and say, yeah, I buy that. That's something that is real to me. Yeah. So we can figure out the realness. So whatever scene it is that we have, I'm sure there's something that happened to us in our life that already has that memory. You created this magnificent thing on YouTube.
That's where all my money goes. That's what I'm saying. When you ask me where, I'm a filmmaker. I have no money to trip.
Well, you took a trip from Detroit to LA.
Oh yeah.
You can afford to go to Japan. I promise you. If not just Japan, go to more. Yes, you can. Go to a cheaper country like Thailand or Vietnam. The cab is only $1.
You need a passport first, right?
Well, I have one, but I just legally changed my name, so I have to go get another passport.
Oh, okay.
Well, eventually you must make this trip happen. It will change your life. There's a lot of Black people there too. I had no idea. I'm like in Japan. No, there were so many Black people. I
actually know some there.
I went to like 5 or 6 cities, and I probably saw like 5.
You didn't go to Shibuya, that's why.
I went to Shibuya.
You went to Shibuya, you didn't see the magic?
I was staying in Tokyo, but I went to Nagasaki, Hiroshima, because I like World War II. Went to Kyoto. We shot a music video in Osaka. Like, I was all over that.
Nigerians
see the
are
temples
everywhere. In every city. Nigerians are in every city I've ever been to out of the country.
Nigerians are in every country in the world.
They are in every country, and they are hustling and making that money.
They have 35 states.
In that regard, yeah, I saw them selling. And they knew Japanese. That was crazy.
See? There.
I did see some, especially around Shibuya. Yeah, like that.
Trying to tell you.
There was security.
They were selling t-shirts.
Yes. Yeah. There were. Yeah, you're right.
I was about to say, what do you know?
Tokyo was the last city I was in.
Actual Nigerians, just one guy.
Yeah,
they be everywhere.
Japanese. But I was in Italy too. I was in Italy and it's
It's so funny to me. Like,
they've been there for 20 years.
I lived in Vegas and I walked into the liquor store and there was an Asian man speaking Spanish.
Go to Jamaica. You see?
You can go.
Yeah,
go to the.
The first time, the very first.
Oh, you need to come to Africa when you see them Chinese speaking better African than I.
That's always.
Like, I've seen some speak better the local language than I do. People looking at me like, when did you come? They be like, you are fresh off the... How could you be African? You are Chinese.
All right, we're gonna end it. We're gonna end on that note, because I know we have to bring it back. You guys are definitely gonna have to come back. Where can they find you guys? Erica, you go first.
Erica Melani on Instagram, ErickaMelani.
I'm gonna tag everyone's social right here.
You can find me everywhere under Lion Queen Productions. So everywhere.
And DK.
You're not probably gonna find me.
I appreciate my guests coming through the Black Queen Hour. And I just appreciate you guys, coming through and dropping us with that knowledge and,
Thank you for having me.
Frames and Footsteps. Thanks for watching, guys.